Right now, our Miata is sitting a little bit high in the front end, but I'm about to fix that with 800 pounds of big block right there. Welcome back to the garage, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be working on getting the Plan B big block back in the chassis of our 2001 Mazda Miata. With only 34 days left to this competition, we don't have a whole lot of time to mess around, so we're going to get right to it. You guys may remember we built this test stand and ran this big block last weekend, so our engine's been on the stand all week. I think last Tuesday it was, I went and did a whole heat cycle on it, ran through everything again, but to my surprise, last night it decided to start leaking oil. So I've got a rear main leak and the transmission started leaking at the same time. So we've had some abnormally cold weather recently, and I'm wondering if that played a role in these two components leaking. Either way, we don't really have time to figure that out. So we're gonna keep moving forward and shoehorn that big block back in this Miata. So the first thing I wanna do is get this test stand all taken apart. I want to swap out the Plan B big block for the 92 core I've got sitting over here. That's probably going to get pushed aside for a rainy day. As soon as we get that finished, I'm going to get this C6 transmission mated back to our big block, and then there's nothing left to do but to stuff it in the hole. All right, so now that we got the transmission mated back to the big block, I'm gonna take the cherry picker here and take this forward in the garage out of our way. Then we're gonna bring the Miata back in, and I gotta do a couple of final adjustments to that chassis, and I think we'll have it ready. Hopefully this is the last time I have to push this car in the garage until I blow it up again. Man, it feels good to have this thing back in the garage. I mean, it would feel better out on the highway, but I'll take the garage for now. So what I've got to do, if you guys remember, I put some plates on the bottom here with some studs for this Mustang K-member. I ran a bead down the outside. I got to pull this all down right now for this engine install, and I'm going to go ahead and run my bead down that plate from the inside so that my front end doesn't fall out of the car. Now that I got that out of the way, let me see if I can squeeze that big block back in this hole. The trick to getting this engine back in is to keep it low beneath these remnants of these frame rails so that when you get it in place, you can pull it up into the hole. You got to keep an eye out for the steering shaft and make sure the transmission doesn't drop and dump all the fluid out too. So I've removed and installed a big block out of a Miata chassis more times than I care to admit. This install may have been the most difficult. It fought me all the way into the car, but there it is, guys. The big block is back in the Miata chassis. We've only got a few things to do to get this thing back on the ground. I'm gonna hold off on it today though, because I just remembered I need to fit some exhaust. I gotta connect these side pipes up, and I've got a newly discovered problem on the transmission cross member. I'm gonna have to plate the floor pan and put some new studs in there because those studs we had are just not getting it done. So that's going to take me a couple of days to sort out. So I'm going to end this video off right there, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.